When the door locks down, yes, I said free. And come on, get it on the floor, bang against the wall, screaming till your head will explode. Now that you know my name, I'm the best. There's no protest, and now I'm coming. Who's next? Get it on the floor, bang against the wall, screaming till your head will explode. Now that you know my name, I'm the best. There's no protest, and now I'm coming. Who's next? Get it on the floor, bang against the wall.
SparStar Promotions is proud to present 3 rounds of mixed martial arts for the vacant SparStar Promotion featherweight title. This bout is sponsored in part by Combate Global. Once again, our referee in charge of this bout, George Gallegos. And now, introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks trimmed in red. He is training out of Fight Studio BJJ in Upland by way of East LA. He weighed 145 pounds. His record, 3 wins, 1 loss, with 2 wins coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Eleno Almanza! His opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner, he is wearing black trunks with cheetah print. He is training out of Black House MMA Gardena by way of Newbury Park. He weighed 145 pounds. His record, 5 wins, 2 defeats, with all 5 wins coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Christian Dighero. All right, fans, once again, our referee in charge, George Gallegos, to give final instructions.
Gentlemen, we know the rules in the dressing room. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Are there any questions from the red corner? Questions from the blue corner? Touch gloves if you want. Come out fighting.
All right, guys. Buckle up. This one's going to be a good one.
I am really excited about this match.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how young Christian is.
Yeah.
For how composed he is when he fights.
And how many fights you've seen him in. Like, you feel like you've seen him in the circuit for years. And that's because you have. But you realize he picked up all that experience when he was that young.
Yeah, crazy to think about. Christian, he started out southpaw, then switched to orthodox. Almanza just staying orthodox the whole time.
You know, it's so funny because I love watching and talking with Almanza for this fact, which is, you know, he wants to stand and bang so much. Like, he wants to let go and go crazy and give you the sickest knockout. So seeing him this composed shows the maturity in him as well, in knowing when to pick his spots and knowing, like, hey, man, I want to win this. I want to make sure that I don't expand energy. I've got a good opponent here, and we're going to have to be smart. But when you release that dog at him, just like that little exchange right there, you see little hints and little suggestions of what may or may not come.
Yeah, it looks, I think, oh, nicely checked. That kick was very well checked from Christian. There's that front kick. I think when he switches to southpaw, he's doing it just so he can throw the left kick. But the only problem is that if he misses it like he did, then he stands there in front of his opponent for a moment in not a great position, and he ate some punches. So there's the kick. Yep. So he's in this opposite. If he lands the kick, usually he's okay, especially if he's ready to switch stances and go right to it. But if he just pauses there, especially if it doesn't land. Oh, nice left. Very good from Christian. And Almanza, good recovery, looks to clinch right away, and another big left, and that's it. They're going to stop this one.
No, I think they're going to let it play. I think at this point.
Oh, I love those uppercuts underneath the armpit.
Oh, and
good body kick. Almanza really needs to clear out these cobwebs. Oh, and another good left.
Christian finding all of these.
He needs to be precise here, and that's exactly what he's doing. really nice landing these headshots. Almanza is not doing well. He is wobbly. He's trying to stay in this fight, but Christian, if he can pick his shots, find that head, he'll knock Almanza out. Almanza, yeah, this is not good for Almanza. His mouthpiece keeps coming out. Oh, and really good accuracy from Christian. This is exactly what he needs to do. Another big left. Almanza somehow still in this one.
I mean, Almanza tried to change the equation here, tried to look for a grappling takedown, but instead just eating some of these and now starting to fire back on some of his own.
Yeah, Christian's got to be careful here because he could still take a big shot, and that could turn the tides. And saved by the bell. Let's see how Almanza recovers from this one. That was some heavy damage.
I mean, Christian's shots looked precise, they looked crisp, and I think in many different situations, those would have been game enders. Those looked like they could have been a game ender, but I mean, Almanza found his way back in, and yet this is a really important recovery time for him. It's going to be really intriguing to see what adjustments he needs to make here in this next bout, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm his coaches right now if you say change it up entirely. Start putting the pressure on the grappling on him because maybe that's where you need to go. Here's the little hint that you might not know, though. Christian Dighero also has solid grappling, and his reaction time has been very, very good. So it's a tough puzzle, but the one thing you don't want is you don't want to be taking those shots head on. Looks like the referee's discussing with him, and I'm not quite sure exactly what they're discussing about, but there was maybe some kind of slight discussion. If we have more information on it, we will give it to you, but you are seeing the effects of Christian Dighero's very, very good strikes in that first round. We go to our second right now.
Yeah, and I criticized Christian about switching stances and throwing that, just to throw that left kick, but he was throwing that left, which is the thing that did all that damage, and I believe he's throwing that mainly from southpaw, and he was using it to great effect, so erase that, because there you see him try to go back to the well, and if he can land it, I think he played that first round very smart. Picked his shots, hit with precision. I'm just shocked that Almanza didn't go down.
But you did notice right there, he was immediately looking for some kind of opening for a takedown. Christian keeping his distance with those kicks. And if you're looking at Almanza, I think that might have been the suggestion. I think they said, hey, listen, we like our chances better on the ground.
Well, especially it's like, how well is he going to clear out the cobwebs between rounds? His bell might be rung still a little bit here going into the second. So if that's a question, then clinch and get it to the ground so you can recover more.
That's very intriguing, just because if you know his story, you know his history. This isn't the first time he's had pressure like this put on him. So if anything, sometimes it makes you feel right at home to be stunned like that, as weird as it may sound. But he is somebody who's been used to having fights like this all of his life. And yet at the same point, what a great competitor to have. And Christian's just looking so clean, so crisp, even when he's looking like effortless, light on his feet. It's just, like you mentioned, you don't want to stay within that range from Almanza because now he's loading up power with it.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Almanza. Like, I don't know if he's recovered 100%, but he's recovered a lot compared to first round. So that is a testament to his conditioning and his ability to bounce back. This is the good thing about being composed the way Christian was, and he didn't just empty the tank trying to put Almanza away, because now he's got plenty more for round number 2, and he's not exhausted himself. So,
I mean, round 2 looking a little bit more like a technical exhibition, because I think both of them understood, all right, listen, you've got power, I've got power. Any of us plants the wrong time, it's mostly because we're just trying to be off of our games, and we're just getting into a dogfight. So you're seeing both of these gentlemen adjust accordingly. Almanza tries for a high kick. It does get blocked. There's going to be 30 seconds left in this second round right now, so we're just a little over halfway in this fight, which has already been very, very interesting.
Now, not a ton has happened in this round, so this one could arguably be Almanza's round.
No, that was definitely a very important strike in this round.
Yeah, good shot there. That might have sealed the round for Dighero.
I think it might have.
Good flurry, a little bit of a connection with Almanza there, but not as significant as what Christian threw.
And you know what? It's tough because you kind of see Almanza looking for that opening. I think he was putting a lot into that, like a lot of stock into it, so that he could say, hey, if I can pop him right here and really plant and connect. As you can see, Christian has a chin too. So he can absorb some of those things. This will be the third and final round here in just a moment. I mean, it's been a very interesting fight between both of these young kids, but it has been delivering on what we promised you, which is some surprises, some excellent moments, and some great back and forth between both of these gents. This third and final round coming to you by way of SparStar. Thank you guys for giving us this fight.
Yeah, and Christian, very exciting, like I said, going into this match. Just a great fighter to watch. Yeah. Almanza, the heart from this kid.
Yeah.
Really inspiring to see. Yeah, this guy is tough as nails.
Yeah. There's not retreat here. Almanza pressing forward, probably knowing there's a possibility he's down on these cards. And if that's the case, you do have to apply a little bit of pressure here.
Well, he's definitely down one round, probably two.
Yeah.
He potentially has to finish this fight. Looking a lot more recovered now, and Christian has to respect this.
Now again, this is going into that grappling here. Christian, you can tell just the drills that they do. You can see him kind of moving back and forth so that you don't stay glued to that cage. He's right back in the center of it. To make things interesting, why don't we go in here what the coaches are saying over in their corners. Perhaps just a snapshot of what they were telling him, but to counter the counter is a very high degree thing to pull off because it's not just anybody throwing strikes at you. Christian's been incredibly precise. So it's risky, but I do get and understand the possibility of it in knowing your fighter.
That was Almanza's corner. That was Lucas Leitch in the green sweater. He's the grappling coach. Of course, runs one of the most successful checkmat branches. He's out in Upland. He probably doesn't have a ton of input on this fight because there hasn't been a ton of grappling, honestly.
Well, you know, from the very small amount of information that we've gotten, maybe he wanted to make it a grappling match, but Christian's proven very difficult to kind of push up against that cage and maybe work to get that takedown. So it is one of those things where you can maybe give your fighters that information and then they get that intel of, I can't take him down right now, or he's very evasive. Just as hard as he is to pin down for these shots, it's also hard to get that full-on takedown that you really want. And that one did connect there for Christian, and you could see Almanza trying to respond in kind.
I like how elusive Christian's being, though. This is really smart. Almanza knows he's down. He knows he's got to put Christian away, and he's looking to throw heat. And Christian, if he gets caught with one shot, that could be the end. So now that he knows that Almanza's recovered, he's really picking his shots and trying to stay safe while he attacks.
I mean, look at Almanza. I mean, this is the look of somebody who knows he is down and he's trying to hunt. And he's going to try and end with these last few seconds of just putting the pressure on Christian. The problem is I don't think he's going to have the time to equal it out. And yet, man, what an interesting fight that went from this kind of insane barrage fest to a controlled, very calculated match between two young gentlemen who are gifted with great chins. Let's just put it that way, John.
Almanza's recovery was nuts. Yeah, I mean, Christian obviously very decidedly won round one.
You know what? Why don't we go ahead and look at some of the work here. let's take a look at some of the highlights from this match. Over here, pop.
There's that left. Oh, dropped Almanza once.
Finds the home again.
Yep, drops him. Yep.
This
and
one,
the ref nearly looking to stop this.
Thought about getting involved, but even on this time when he did find a little less degree on it, Almanza at that time was a little more prepared for it, tried to take the back, go around on the outside of it. But Christian already starting the celebration with the Black House crew and letting people know, come on, there should be a title coming my way very, very soon. So he is already feeling celebratory. And, I mean, the performance by itself, result or no, I mean, even without knowing the exact wording of what happened, you could still be very proud of that performance. That was an incredible display by Christian. And going back on the other side, I mean, Eleno he's a beast. He made some very solid adjustments. And one of the things I always appreciate about him, when I did my interview with him, he brought his dad. And his dad's just sitting there, and we're talking, and then all of a sudden in the background, I didn't know if I heard it right, but he's like, oh yeah, Junior over here. And I'm like, are you calling your dad Junior? And he's like, yeah. And I go, how? You would be a junior, sir. And he's like, no, that's Junior over there. And I go, very confusing. Okay. So the playfulness and the connection that man has to his family was something to behold, and I got a small peek at. And I know even if he doesn't get the result he wanted here tonight, there's nothing short of a bright future for that young man too. So excellent work by both these kids. I'm intrigued to hear what these results say, and we will now take you back on over to the cage so that we can all get them together.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the cage, give it up for our promoter, Tony T-Bone Steaks Padilla. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have a split decision. Judge at cage side, Felicia O scores the bout 29-28 in favor of Almanza. Judge at cage side, Don Howard scores the bout 30-27 in favor of Dighero. And judge at cage side, Carlos Schaud scores the bout 29-28 in favor of our winner. By split decision, they are the new SparStar Promotion Featherweight Champion, Christian
That's right, fight fans. Christian, what's up, brother? How do you feel?
A little nervous. The split decision, I thought I had that pretty cleanly. But I just want to start this by saying thank you to my opponent, Eleno Almanza. I always say the way that I show respect to my opponents is how I prepare. I train my ass off every single day. Even on my rest days, I'm recovering right, I'm sleeping right, I'm eating right. And I feel great, so respect to my opponent. I lost 2 title fights before this, so you'll be back. But you know what they say, 3rd time's the charm, baby!
No, a little earlier this evening, we had Quest mention your name, said if you win this title, he's coming after you. Got any word for Quest?
Hey, I think he's still sleeping, bro. I put him to sleep right there. Is he still sleeping? Where the fuck are you, Quest?
So we're gonna make this happen. We can talk to your promoter because Quest wants you.
Real quick, in the words of the great Nipsey Hussle, the only distinguishing quality between me and whoever else went through this is I didn't quit. I went through every emotion trying to pursue what I'm doing, and I didn't quit. This is just the beginning, my first belt of many. And yeah, I just thank God, thank my family. Team Dighero out here. 805. This is for all the kids who have a dream and come from a small city called Newbury Park. You guys could do it. Believe in yourself. Thank you to my mom, my biggest supporter, my beautiful girlfriend, and yeah, thank you to SparStar for the opportunity. Yeah.
All right, fight fans, make some noise for your new champion, Christian Dighero!
Well, congratulations to Christian, and also big shout out to Leno. That was a good fight.